Welcome to the Fleet Geeks Podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Fleet Geeks Podcast. Here I am talking to you about effective delegation. How are you going to nail it without dropping standards? That's what today's podcast is all about. I did a recent one about burnout and how good managers tend to burn out, or good transport managers tend to burn out because they care so much and they get so involved. Good managers delegate. Okay. I might hear you screaming at me, but I've got no one to delegate to. Well, part of your role is actually delegating to drivers. You've all got drivers, right? You can't have a transport operation without them. So you need to delegate some responsibility to them as well. Interesting, isn't it? But how do you do it? No one really knows how we delegate. So today I'm breaking it down for you, helping you understand how to do effective delegation. So the key thing about effective delegation is it's about transferring ownership of something without dropping standards. If you transfer ownership badly, it can create chaos. But if you do it well, it will create you some capacity to do things properly. Okay. So if you're feeling burnt out and just thinking it's quicker if I do it myself, you're not having a time problem. You have a delegation problem because you're not prioritizing your time with what's most important. I guarantee you, when you listen to this and think of all the things and everything you do, one of the things I get managers to do when I'm doing manager training is I get them to write down all the things they do. Yeah. And I ask them to put them into 4 boxes. Do, delay, delegate, delete. Because you can't do it all at once. But you have to get your stuff falling into those 4 boxes. Do, delay, delegate, delete. Okay. So let's talk about delegation. Okay. Why does it fail? I've got a couple of reasons. Okay. The first is you delegate the tasks and not the outcomes. So for example, send this email, update this spreadsheet, handle this driver issue. But what you don't define is what your expectation is. What does good look like? When's the deadline? What's the decision-making authority? Okay. People just then complete the task, but they miss the intention behind it. I've done this so many times, particularly even in my business now. I do it all the time. I just ask people to do stuff for me. They just do it, but I never really make them clear on the intention or what the reason is behind it. Okay. And actually we need to look at the outcome. So I need them to do this because it creates that. Because one of the issues that then creates is like really complex processes. Okay. But let's just stick with it, keeping it simple. Don't delegate tasks, delegate outcomes. Make it really clear why someone needs to do something and what the outcome is. The other one is you delegate, but you stay emotionally attached to it. So you hand it over, but then you just hover. Okay. Check in too early, correct it too often, subtly take it back. Eventually your team thinks, well, why do I bother? They'll just redo it anyway. They're just going to redo it. Yeah. They don't ever give anything down because they're a micromanager. You're a micromanager. That's what they're saying. Yeah. So you delegate it, but you're too emotionally attached to it still. So you need to just let go.
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. Let me ask you something. How confident are you that the right version of your policies, procedures, and any compliance documents are actually being used right now? Because if your answer is fairly confident, that's not confidence, it's hope. At Flagship, our digital services, we help fleet operators move from folders, chaos, and crossed fingers to clarity, control, and confidence. Our platform, Optifile, is built specifically for fleets like yours. One source of truth, full version control, and clear accountability, and a simple way to prove your people have seen, understood, and signed the right documents every single time. No more, which version is this? No more, I think that's updated, and no more sleepless nights before an audit. If you're serious about running a safer, greener, greater fleet, it starts with getting your foundations right. Head to Flagship Partners and discover how, through our digital services like Optifile, we can tidy up the mess, reduce risk, and give you your time back. because compliance shouldn't be a dark art. It should be crystal clear.
Because holding on is suffocation. There we go. There's a Deepak Chopra quote for you. Anyway, the third is you wait too long to delegate. So you only wait until you're massively overwhelmed and really busy to delegate. And that means you're stressed, your expectations are rushed, the training is minimal, your patience is low. And I don't call that delegation. It's just dumping. It's abdicate. It's called abdication. Abdicate responsibility. You just throw it at someone else because you're absolutely rushed off your feet. Okay. Delegation needs to be structured. You need to make the intention really clear. What is the outcome you're looking for? You got to let go of it once you allow someone else to do it, and you got to not leave it too long. Okay. So what does good actually look like? Okay. It's a bit like training someone to drive. You're not just going to go, right, off you go, motorways that way, off you go deliver the goods. Yeah. You got to explain the destination, show the controls, let them have a go at it, correct in a calm manner, and gradually remove supervision. That's basically how you train someone to drive, isn't it? Very similar when it comes to delegation. Delegation is a staged transfer of confidence. Okay. Slowly transferring the confidence to do something and the ability to do something to someone else. So, step one, we define the outcome. What does success look like? What problem are we solving and why does it matter? People will always perform better when they understand the reason behind it. Okay. Step number two is to clarify the level of authority. So be really clear. What decisions can they make? What approval do they need? What budget limits apply? Because if you're ambiguous, that will kill the confidence. Okay. They're constantly coming back asking for questions. So we need to be really, really clear about clarifying the level of authority. The third is around setting checkpoints. This isn't about micromanaging. It's about agreeing up front when we're going to review it, how we're going to review it, in what format and what standard. Okay. Prevents panic follow-ups. It prevents you checking in, texting, have you done that thing yet? Okay. Setting a checkpoint builds trust early. Okay. It can set a really clear expectation. The fourth is around allowing imperfect learning. I remember when my dad first taught me to drive a manual back in the day, and he let me stall it the first time I hit the brake because I didn't understand I needed to put my foot on the clutch. But when it stalled awfully that first time, when I slammed the brake to stop the car and it came to a stall and I was like, what happened? I learned not to stall it again because he allowed me an imperfect learning opportunity. He allowed me to make my own mistakes. And I think we need to think about that as well. So we need to allow imperfect learning is the fourth step. It's never going to be done exactly how you'd do it. And that's okay. If it's 80% as good and frees you to focus on higher value stuff, that's a win. Perfectionism is the enemy of scaling. Business owners are affected by it. Transport managers are affected by it. You're going to get burnt out if you try and perfect and have perfection in everything you do. So you need to make sure that it's good enough. Okay. And you need to allow other people to make mistakes. Okay. Within reason. Next is about reinforcing ownership to others. Okay. So for example, the team know that someone else is doing something. So therefore you need to credit them, reference their decision. Don't be taking the gratitude for their good work. Okay. And you need to reinforce trust. Ownership grows when you recognize, and recognition follows responsibility. Okay. So you need to reinforce the ownership. The team need to know that someone else is doing something now for you, and you need to congratulate them on doing a good job. Okay. The thing is one of your challenges is it's an emotional block that many leaders and transport managers avoid. Your identity as a transport manager is linked to being capable, and you've built the standards and you fear the mistakes are going to reflect on you. Okay. So delegation can feel risky. That's why you're screaming at me through the speaker now going, Pete, I'm too scared to do this, or I can't do this, or everyone's useless, or I'm surrounded by idiots. Whatever it may be, that is you getting emotionally attached to stuff. And you need to let go if you're feeling burnt out and overwhelmed. Okay. So delegation is really critical, particularly if it's time sensitive, compliance risks high, pressure is constant. If you handle every defect, every driver issue, every compliance check, every supplier call, you're the bottleneck. And the bottlenecks end up burning out. Okay. I call it a ladder. I do, you watch. I do, you help. You do, I help. You do, I watch. You own. And I review the outcomes only. Okay. Most of the time we don't get past stage 2. I do, you help. Okay. So that's the ladder. I do, you watch. I do, you help. You do and I help. You do and I watch. And the 5th is you own and I review the outcomes only. Okay. Really, really important conversation for us to have about delegation. 5-step process. Define the outcome, clarify the authority, set the checkpoints, allow imperfect learning, reinforce ownership. Okay. Make sure you're properly delegating your stuff to your people, guys. Okay. And that will prevent the burnout. Okay. Hope this is useful. How would you delegate to people? Hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you very much. I'll see you on a future episode. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.